On the 21st of June. Are you ready? We definitely are part of the build-up, still here on the Joy Sports Track. Welcome to the Joy Sports Track. It's 15 after 1 here on your super station, Joy 99.7 FM. Coming up next today, we'll be hearing from Kwesi Appiah Benedictus, who speaks to him exclusively in Dubai. It's his first interview after the team lost the second friendly against South Africa. We hear what he's got to say about the lack of goals involving the Black Stars. Does he have any remedy? Is he worried? That sort of thing. We also hear from Jonathan Mensah, who is playing yet another AFCON, even as young as he is one of our very young players who have had more than 3 African Cups of Nations tournaments under their belt. Also, we go out there to see what's happening in terms of the trends with the tournament. It's not just Ghana there, there's 23 other teams. We hear from Joseph Yobo, former Nigeria striker, who gives us his thoughts on all things AFCON as well. It's the Joy AFCON hashtag on Twitter, and you can join us with your questions and everything else you want to speak about. Just a reminder that we are the official radio broadcast holders for the competition, and you can be getting everything you want in terms of updates, live commentary, and online coverage on myjoyonline.com special website, which will be coming live later tonight. So, first of all, we hear from Kwesi Appiah on thoughts of the camp so far.
When we came, we were satisfied with the accommodation, and then we went and also saw the training ground, and it was perfect. Since day one, we've been given a lot of hard training, and then they've been cooperating, and so far this camping has been, I'll say, the most peaceful camp I've ever attended, and they are cooperating with us. Everything is going so well. We played our first game against Namibia, trying to assess. We had about 28 players in camp, trying to assess each and every one, and then they made it difficult for us to choose. By the end of it, we had to send some people home. And, we played our second game against South Africa. And for me, I'm now very confident in the team now, to be frank. I have total belief in the team, and I'm sure we'll go out there and surprise everyone.
Coach, the game against Namibia, we failed to score, as well as the South African game. Many people are skeptical about that. I mean, we played 2 matches and we didn't score. Is that a worry?
You see, in a game, as a supporter, you look at it different way. As a coach, I'll look at it as to were we able to create chances. But as to whether the ball will go in or not, that's another situation. But for me, against Namibia, we didn't create that much chances. which was a worry. And but against South Africa, we hit the post, we created so many scoring opportunities, and for me that was the most important thing. The other aspect as to making sure we get the balls in the net is something that we need to go about 8 to 9 days before the competition, and that's something that we're going to work on. We need to create a lot of chances and make sure we convert those chances that we create.
And I presume this week is going to be intense.
Yeah, I mean this week we're going to brush over the little lapses in the team and to make sure they all become perfect. And then when the competition starts, you can't do that much. You can't work that much. So this week the physical trainer will do a lot of work. We also do a lot of more work to make sure all these areas are covered.
In that game against South Africa, Thomas Japan, Samuel Owusu, Kwabena Owusu, Caleb, the new boys played very well as well as the old boys. I mean, you must be very satisfied with the boys that you have in camp, especially the new boys.
Oh, that's why I said that I'm very confident in the team now, because it doesn't matter who plays. All of them have confidence. They are willingness to kill themselves for the nation is really high, and there's big time unity in the team.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe you're in the stands, but if you were on the bench, you hear every player trying to encourage each other, making sure they all do the right thing. So that's why I said I'm really confident in the team now.
I mean, you must be very satisfied with the boys that you have in camp, especially the new boys.
Oh, that's why I said that I'm very confident in the team now, because it doesn't matter who plays. All of them have confidence. They are willingness to kill themselves for the nation is really high, and there's big time unity in the team.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe you're in the stands, but if you were on the bench, you hear every player trying to encourage each other, making sure they all do the right thing. So that's why I said I'm really confident in the team now, and I believe they will do their best to raise the flag of Ghana.
The first day I got here, the weather was so hot, almost 45 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
These players yourself have had to, stand in this hot weather to train. But I mean, it's for the good of it, because in Egypt it will be very hot as well.
Yeah, I think Egypt is about 35 degrees, and here in Dubai it's about 40 degrees. We do train in the evening around 5:30. By then, it had dropped to 35.
Okay.
So, for me, the most important thing is the humidity.
Okay.
The humidity is really high here. So once you are able to contain that, once we get to Egypt, we should find it very easy there.
I think we play our first game exactly a week today against Benin in the tournament. How would we want to start?
Our ambition is to make sure we try to win the game.
Yeah.
Our ambition has been to make sure we qualify. As to tactical play, automatically no coach will reveal what he wants to put out there. But our ambition will be going out there with every mindset, getting to a level where victory is what we're going to fight for.
Coach, two final questions. The days are drawing near. The tournament itself kicks off this very Saturday. But when you sit down and you think about everything that you've done so far, you've talked about how you've had the best of preparations. This has been your most peaceful campaign since, you were coach of the Black Stars. When you look at how the days are, drawing near, do you feel this pressure that you have to by all means win this trophy for Ghanaians?
You see, as a coach and as a Ghanaian, since we all know that it's been years that we won the cup, our vision, everything within us is to go out there and try and win the cup. That is the mentality of every Ghanaian. So and all the players are aware of the situation. So that's why I said we'll go out there, give out all our best, and we're praying that the Lord blesses what is on our hearts, so that all Ghanaians will be happy.
At this point, there's so many Ghanaians watching you. We have so many football-loving fans listening to you as well. I mean, what will be your message to them going into the tournament?
My message to them is this is Ghana Blasters going out there for war. It's about Ghana. It's not about any other country but our motherland. So every single Ghanaian, irrespective of your affiliations, each and every one should put his total support and prayers behind the team. And I believe that it's the flag of Ghana that is going to be raised. It's not about individuals, it's not about anybody, but it's about Ghana. So we sure anything that we can do to support the team, we need to do and make sure. We also not let them down. We go out there, fight, and make sure what they all praying for will be achieved. To make us proud.
Coach, thank you so much.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Kwesi Appiah speaking to Benedict Owusu there. Hans in the studio. Key points, Hans. Welcome. First of all, happy birthday to you.
Yep. Thank you very much, Gary.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, key points from that interview. Kwesi Appiah very, very calm and relaxed about, you get a lot of talk down here.
Yeah.
People feel like, Charlie, the team are not scoring.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't get the opportunity to see the two games on television.
Yeah.
From the two reports we got, Ghana played well but did not score. He seems to think that, look, it will come when it will come.
Well, I mean, I can understand, from his point of view as a coach. He probably has better insight than those of us, down here. And so, understandably, he has to be calm about it. But I think that somewhere in his mind, he would also be worried. He would want to be finding answers. He probably wouldn't want to expend too much energy worrying. Then use that energy to try to work around what really the problem is and try to solve it. But I think that, again, it is something that we should be worried about. I mean, whichever way you look at it, tournament, when you go into tournament, goals is what is going to win you the tournament.
Yep.
You can't expect that you're going to go in there and draw blank and keep progressing and then go all the way to the ultimate, especially when this time around your route to the title has become even longer than in previous years.
Yeah.
And so if you've played 2 friendly matches and then, your strikers haven't been able to, none of your strikers has been able to find the back of the net, it is something that you have to worry about. Especially also, if you look at the numbers of the strikers that he called going into this tournament, a lot of us expressed a lot of worry about some of the strikers. If I start mentioning, I'm going to sound like a broken record already, so let me just keep it there. Especially if you look at the numbers of some of the strikers that he's called up, it's a bit of a worry. I was telling somebody the other day that if the Black Stars don't get players scoring from midfield and then the strikers also draw blank, then we are in for trouble, because you see, what it means is that we can find ourselves in a situation where opponents will score 1 goal and it will be good enough for them, to get all 3 points and keep progressing.
Yeah.
So it's very important. In as much as I can understand why Kwesi Appiah has to be relaxed, you can't also blame fans or Ghanaians for worrying, about the lack of goals. You need goals to win tournaments. You need goals to progress in tournaments. And at this moment, we are not getting there. I'm hoping that once the tournament begins, we are going to find a way to get the goals. It's very, very important. Football is about goals. Ultimately, the point of playing the game, passing the ball around, is that the ball ends up at the back of the net. And so, if we play all the football like he said, like the reports we've gotten that the team played very, very well. We had a promo that he played. Now goals no he. Ultimately, that's the question. Trophy no he. And so we need to get the goals from somewhere. Somebody has to pop up and deliver the goods. It was refreshing to know that Asamajan came closest to scoring. It gave me,
in both games we're hitting by and stuff.
Yeah, I mentioned somewhere last week on TV that in the 37 years that we haven't been able to win the African Cup of Nations, in a lot of ways also luck has eluded us. in having key players getting injured. Take the 2010.
I've said it too many times.
Exactly. Take the 2010 AFCON, for instance.
I don't know where...
You begin to wonder if we had a full house. We went with the 2020 World Cup winners. Young players, lack of experience. You begin to wonder that if we had gone with the Asians and Stephen Appias and the whatnot, what might have happened? The experience, the only reason why we lost to Egypt in that final was because of the lack of experience. That was the difference between our team and the Egyptian team. If our team was loaded with the experience, the story might have been different. And so maybe we are not getting luck. And that is when you cannot really overemphasize it. Hopefully...
We are due some luck.
Hopefully when we get to the tournament...
We are due some luck.
We have to get some luck. Otherwise, Charlie...
I mean, I've said it
it's worrying. It's something that we should worry about.
You can't go to semi-finals 6 times in a row. I mean, why?
Yeah.
Your house people, why? You know what I mean? Anyway, we're about going to Dubai to Benedict, but we lost him. George is here as well. So, George, let me get your thoughts, because we have Jonathan Mensah also to speak, and then hopefully by the time we are finished, Benedict.
See, Gary, I like the feeling. I like the feeling that this is probably a year that is going to work for the Black Stars. I like
people of a certain age who say that they've been hearing that.
Yes. That's what I'm starting with. I like that feeling that, guys, this is going to work. Let's get behind the team. Let's push it in there.
Yeah.
But I think we don't have to get carried away.
Oh, I'm not carried away, there, George. I can't think of one person who is carried away.
Yeah. You don't have to get carried away.
Do you know anybody who is carried away?
Quite a number of people are.
Oh, really?
I mean, making it look like, Charlie, guys, it's going to happen. Let's just go. It's going to. Please, we also have to look at the issues. They've got the issues there. I don't know how anyone can convince me, but that you don't score the goal against South Africa and Namibia. It's a big issue for me. It's a very big issue for me. We need to start looking at it. Yes, I understand the luck bit, which is very true, but we really need to look at it. We really look at it. And it's not just about the friendlies they played here or how well they have played. I thought Argentina possessed the ball than Colombia did, but they lost by 2-0. So it's a worry, and I was happy to hear Ibrahim Sunday talk about it.
Yeah.
They need to face it up front. We need to get goals.
Excellent. And speaking of that Argentina-Colombia game, I mean, Carlos Queiroz, who is now the coach of Colombia, used to be of Iran and Manchester United fame and all that. We know how he likes to set his teams. The defense is the most important thing. And then he says to counter-attack and so on. If the Black Stars meet teams like Namibia,
and that's what they are doing.
And you look at Benin, our first game.
Benin, yes.
And then we are playing Guinea-Bissau and Cameroon.
They're playing Cameroon next. The
Cameroon,
game.
yes.
So whatever, if anything goes wrong in the Benin game, we have to face it against Cameroon.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's go to Benedict now. Benedict, hi.
Sound be good.
Hello, Benedict.
Hi, guys.
Yes, the sound be good.
Please come again.
The sound be good. I heard you talking to the producer and asking him if the sound be good. The sound be good. We've just played your interview with Kwesi Appiah now, and he sounded very relaxed. Is he as relaxed as he sounds?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I asked him that days are drawing nearer to the tournament. Tournament is starting this Friday, and of course next week by this time it will be our first game against Benin. So I asked him that. I mean, with the days sprinting and days drawing nearer to the tournament, is he under any sort of pressure? And he said, this is not the first time he's doing it. This is the second time, taking a team to a tournament. The first was in 2013 with the same Black Stars. So, I mean, this is nothing new. The most important thing is that they prepare very well and go into the tournament and play very well. He sounded very, very relaxed. And, I mean, it's just like the atmosphere around the team here in Dubai. They are very relaxed in everything that they are doing, but the training is very intensive. I mean, yesterday they gave them a day off after what's been a hectic, training since they came. They've been training for 2 weeks now. I mean, this week is their third and final week. So, of course, I mean, for everything that they've been doing, they thought it wise to just let the boys cool off. So, yesterday was a free day for the players, and they returned to training. Just as I speak to you, they are just about starting training.
Fantastic. You are there as well at the training. I'm sure you are going to be noting patterns. Like you said, next week, by this time, they will be getting ready for their first game, because that's on the next week, Tuesday, the 25th at 8 p.m. And then the following game will be on the Saturday after the 29th at 5 p.m. Ghana time. And then on the 2nd of July, they'll be playing their third game against Guinea-Bissau at 4 p.m. So, George is here. I mean, George feels like it's problematic that we are not scoring. Hans also feels, but I'm also feeling that Charlie, it will come, man.
Now, I think give the team the benefit of the doubt a bit.
Hello?
Or just before Benedict comes in.
Yeah, George is making a point.
I really
Oh, okay.
I really want to give the team the benefit of the doubt because we haven't seen the games. That's the point. Benedict has seen the game, and he says it's looking good because they're creating a lot of chances. That's fine. But that's where quite a number of Ghanaians who think the way I'm thinking are feeling that we've not seen the team. They are not scoring goals. We hope it's good.
We want to see the goals.
Yes.
Anyway, Benedict, I know you should be...
I don't know if you listen to the part where I asked Coach the same question about how, our first game we couldn't score, second game we couldn't score.
We did.
Jonathan Mensah, same question. I asked that Samoajan same. I asked, all the players that I've interviewed so far. I asked all of them as well as Coach Sunday, who is a member of the Blasters Management Committee. I asked them, should we be worried that much that we are not scoring goals? And all of them intimated that, yes, in as much as we won't see the goals. These are trial games they are playing in. Okay. And, of course, if the chances were not coming, they would have been worried. In the game against Namibia, they didn't create as many chances as they did in the game against South Africa. And I was there and I saw the number of chances they created in the South African game. If all those chances had been converted, it would have been not less than 3 goals in that game. And actually, we scored a legitimate goal, which was over with Samoajan hit a post. Samuel Owusu also hit a post. The chances are coming. And I just want people to wait and see this team play. And then they will know what I'm talking about. I mean, for the very first time, and the coach mentioned in that interview that he's very, very confident in the team that he has built for this tournament. He mentioned it, that now he can say that he has a team. After all these times that he's been together calling players, now he can say he has a team for the tournament. Then all the players have spoken about how people shouldn't despair to hang on to hope because, I mean, it's just a trial game. The real deal will be at the tournament. And if the South African game had been on TV, I'm sure the discussion or the narration wouldn't be the way it is now as people are worried that we are not scoring.
Benedict, producer at large of this show, Sami Bartels, a producer at large.
Yes.
I'm sure he will not really, but he sent a message that we shouldn't miss something Kwesi Appiah said. I didn't pick it immediately, but come to think of it, he said in the interview that this is the most peaceful camp Kwesi Appiah has ever had.
Yeah,
that's a very serious statement.
Yeah, that takes us
Benedict
taking us back.
It is. I think it's a very good statement from the coach at this point. I mean, looking at everything that went on coming into this tournament, of course, there have been situations always when we are coming to issues when we are coming for training camps and tournaments, and this one is one that will go down the memory lane as possibly maybe one that could have hit even our camping. Not to talk about the tournament because of the Azerbaijan issues and Jan having.
The Dubai man, but
it looks like we have lost the Dubai man, but it's fine. It's okay.
Quick one.
We probably
it's refreshing to hear Kwesi Appiah say that yes, it's the most peaceful training camp he's ever had. But you see, I don't expect him to say otherwise. Really. We've seen it one too many times where, and it's not limited only to the Black Stars, other sporting disciplines as well. They are in camp and they go about all the beautiful rhetorical, all is well and everything has been provided, and
then we get the boom,
and then revelations begin to emerge. I'm just hoping that they are being honest with Ghanaians, because look, nobody's going to have it after this tournament, and I'm not predicting doom or anything. I'm just saying that if there are issues, yes, come out and be positive. You will not say it, understandably. But I'm just hoping that the rhetoric is not going to change after the tournament.
So two key things Kwesi Appiah said in the past week that he probably may think that many people did not pick up.
Yeah.
A week ago by this time, remember he said they've got everything they need.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a serious thing.
Yeah, that statement was actually made when they met the president, even before they departed. That the president had provided everything that they needed.
And then in his first interview in Dubai, he also said that all the facilities.
So there can be no excuses then.
Yeah. So I mean that's
the point I'm making.
And and I hope Kwesi Appiah really knows he has said these things.
I'm sure
so.
It means there can be no excuses.
Because by extension, we are preparing for an Africa Cup of Nations, and so there's no need to want to dig.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
How many
so the question is, what's been happening in the other
previous camps.
How many backups of this particular audio do you have? Let's back it up and back it up.
It's important.
Let's back it up.
Show yourself, right?
Yeah.
The internet never lies.
Okay, right.
Next
So-
up, Jonathan Mensah. Benedict speaks to him about a couple of things as well. He's had a quiet season, if I should put it that way. I know a lot of people who feel that Jonathan is not the Jonathan of 2010-12 that we know. Let's hear what he's got to say.
I would say preparation has been very good. We've been very responsive of the training programs, and everyone is looking good.
In terms of the new guys that are in the team, how are you guys gelling with them?
It's been good because, coming to an environment where you're not familiar with new guys, new coaching stuff and all that. I think the boys have been very good, so it's good for the team.
You played against Namibia, couldn't score. You played against South Africa, couldn't score. I mean, many people are worried. Should we be concerned that much?
I don't think so, because there's a preparation game, and it's to see the tactical stuff that we can implement in the tournament, and like physically also. So, the coaches are watching some things they want to see. So we're still working on our attacking phase and defensive phase as well. But the goals will come start of the tournament.
You've been here for 2 weeks. This is going to be your 3rd week.
Yes.
I mean, some have said this is the peaceful, campaign ever. Is that what you also think?
I've been in several camps, and it's been peaceful as well. So I would say it's been like the others. Yeah.
You personally, how are you getting ready for the tournament?
Personally, I'm getting ready, and collectively also, I need to get ready collectively as well. But personally, I'm good to go.
Okay, 2 quick questions. What will it mean to Jonathan Mensah if he's able to help Ghana win this year's tournament?
It's going to be great, because we all got different elements that can help the team. So if I can do my best, to help the team, that's all, I want to do. So hopefully whatever I bring on board, will help the team move forward.
You're a very physical person. You train a lot. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure you're used to this weather. I mean, training under 45 degrees Celsius, and you know very well that Egypt is going to be hot. In terms of the weather, how has it been for you guys here?
It's been tough. There's I think they said this is their summer here, and it's crazy, 45 degrees Celsius. That is my first time experiencing such a weather. So we can't, complain and blame it on the weather, But we just that's why we came here. We knew Egypt was going to be warm as well. So we just need to deal with circumstances that is going to come our way.
Okay, Charlie.
Benedict, speaking to Jonathan Mensah, the interesting stuff. George, quick points on that?
Yeah.
Apart from
I don't want to disturb. Yeah, but it's good.
Hey, Jonathan
always speaks good.
Jonathan,
well. Yeah, but he speaks well. The last time he was on JoyFM was about the same. He speaks well. Yeah, he speaks well.
Can you?
Yeah, he speaks well. It's fine.
Of course he speaks well. He's always spoken well. But now there's some Columbia crew accent.
It's probably the hottest he's experienced anyway. And I'm wondering if he hasn't played at Tamale before.
No, but
Tamale on the average
Tamale is not
really.
It's not the Dubai's classmates.
Right.
No, Tamale is
the
a
45 is serious.
45
is serious.
The most you can go in Tamale is 38, I think.
Wow.
But Tamale
even Egypt at this time.
I mean, when it's crazy, Tamale could
Google,
go 40 or maybe 40.
Egypt
45
35, 36, 37.
Yeah. Anyway, but I think he said the right things. Essentially backed up the things that Kwesi Appiah, said.
Probably took the piece in the camp question better, I think, to be on the safer side. You naturally don't want to be saying things that will come back to haunt you. You don't want to. You want to keep it safe as possible.
You want to be as coy as possible.
Yes, and that's what I hope that Kusiapia will learn in the coming days. But it's fine. It's okay. It's all down to the business, Gary. Like we're saying,
Score the goals and get
score
the
the
job
goals,
done.
get the job
That is
done,
what I
win the
was coming
trophy,
to.
and that's it. It's not about.
Let's say all the right things and
It's
calm
get
and
the job when it's
But
done.
all
I mean,
the right
basically,
things are because this is like
it's
we know where we are from.
But you see, Gary, sometimes there is nothing wrong with saying that, well, we are not scoring, it's a worry, but we are working towards it. But to totally dismiss it as
the
if
goals will
it's
come.
not an issue.
The goals will come, man.
Charlie,
Oh, no,
The
you
goals will
see,
come, man.
it is an issue.
no, he's communicating with different publics, as we like to say.
Yeah, okay, well.
He's not just communicating with you sitting in your JoyFM
the
studio.
journalist.
He's speaking to the players as well.
The goals will come.
Okay.
You get my point.
I understand
So it's a reassurance. We don't know whether in camp the guys are really anxious, and so he has to project a semblance.
Let
of
me
calm.
Because
let's
they pick their
just
cues
have
from him.
That's
okay,
the point.
Gary, let's just
that
have
makes sense.
okay. Let's just have a little profile, or let's do a small profiling of our strikers. Anyone who gets the opportunity to play, would they be anxious to score goals? If you've got
And would it get to them?
and that's what I'm just looking at. You've got debutants who are going there. They'll love to score the goal.
Which means no pressure.
Yeah, debutant, but you want to score your first goal.
Yes.
So it could be a form of pressure for you because when you get on the big stage, everybody has been hearing about you. Show us what you've got.
And you could be Jordan Ayew, who
Jordan
is a
Ayew?
player who has
Yes.
scored more than any other player since 2015 for the
Yes.
Black Stars, and you could also feel pressure.
But he needs to prove a point lately.
That's the
People have
point.
the narrative
That's the
around
point.
him is not good. And Asamoah Gyan also has to prove a point. So
Yes.
your strikers have to prove a point.
The thing about pressure in football is that different players deal with it differently.
Yes.
Look, there are some players who like the high pressure environment. They deliver. Cristiano Ronaldo will deliver. He's a man for the big occasions.
Asamoah Gyan is one of those.
Asamoah Gyan is one of those. You understand me? There are some players.
Jordan, not so much.
Yes.
Not so much.
Now, if we look at, and I didn't even want to go into that side in my earlier submission, but I think I have to. I have always, my general belief or view was that we should have taken Asamoah Gyan to this tournament. Of course, I've revised it somewhat because after looking at the numbers of the other strikers that we were going to take, it made sense for you to take Asamoah Gyan. Over the last couple of weeks, I've also been looking at what has been happening in terms of the friendly matches and thinking, wow, we probably would have made a mistake if we had not taken Gyan.
Yeah.
Why? Because look, for all the things that we are going to say, whether Gyan starts from the bench and plays 20 minutes or comes on later and plays 20 minutes, I would bang my money on Gyan putting the ball at the back of the net than any of the strikers in
We are
camp at the
taking.
moment.
Yep.
You know, and so I am thinking, and I think that it is telling that in Benedict's report after that game against South Africa, he mentions that Gyan was the one who came closest to scoring.
Yeah.
Even though he came in from the bench. I think that a lot is going to depend on Asamoah Gyan. I've mentioned here before that, look, the one person who can restore calm to the camp of the Black Stars is Gyan.
Yep.
It is also turning out to be that the one person who might turn out to be saving the day in this tournament would be Asamoah Gyan.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Because hopefully it doesn't come to that, because if you look at Jordan's numbers going into this tournament, it doesn't inspire confidence. I'm coming. It's just a point
so
I'm
we are
making.
saying the same thing.
The
Like,
way you have come to accept that maybe Gyan, I'm telling you that after watching the Black Stars for the last 3-4
yes, you hope not. You hope not.
No, it's not.
And real quick, I am hoping that somewhere in there, I've shied away from talking tactics in recent times, but I'm hoping that the coach is going to see a situation where Gyan becomes our biggest source of putting the ball at the back of the net and devise a strategy, whether it's going to give him 20 minutes or 30 minutes, devise a strategy that requires Gyan not to exert so much energy but pops up when it matters most to finish off. We've
Because
seen
of
it.
his injury-prone
Exactly.
nature
And
these
thankfully, there are a lot of young players around him who should be able to do the job for him to finish off. So I'm just hoping that Kwesi Appiah will lie down and see all the variables.
It will be.
And then
I'm
you will
happy.
be able to put
I'm
two and
happy.
two together.
And that point was a good one. More like building on where I started from.
Yeah.
And so I mean, there's a science to you not scoring goals and to you scoring goals to come. So don't just wish it away. Don't just sweep it under the carpet. You have to look at it. But it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's good to hear Jonathan speaking. And
It is good. So, I mean, just a recap, Ghana starts the campaign next week, Tuesday. against Benin. Benin themselves didn't qualify well for the Cup of Nations. I mean, spoke to a few Beninois journalists.
Yeah.
They kind of feel like Charlie, they're on their last legs and they are heavily reliant on Stéphane Sessegnon, who will not play in the first game because he's carrying over an accumulation of cards from the qualifiers and all that. So the Black Stars will hope to start with 3 points quickly in the bag. So elsewhere, in terms of friendlies, we'll let you know what's happening elsewhere. Nigeria have been conservative in their build-up. They've taken 15 players from the World Cup, that went to the World Cup in this Cup of Nations squad. 15.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no Iheanacho, there's no a couple of others who were headlining, but they still feel that they can do something. But that confidence has been misplaced because they were beaten by Senegal, in a friendly in the last 24.
But Senegal's...
Yes, so Nigeria also having their issues and a bit worried. So like everybody's worried.
But Senegal beats you, but Senegal beats you.
Yeah. It's normal, really. Let's hear from Joseph Yeboah. I mean, Premier League veteran and also defender on the chances of the Super Eagles and more.
Very special. It's a priceless moment for me. It's something that I never really thought it would happen, but realizing, towards getting close to the end of my international career, realizing that I could be the first person to get it there. Apart from other legends that have played before me, no one got close. So me being the first person to achieve that milestone is something that I hold very dearly. It's a very special achievement for myself and for my kids, and I'm thankful to God, and I'm very proud and honored.
How do you feel ending your career on the high? I mean, you won the African Cup of Nations 2013. A year later, you were playing at the biggest stage of world football at the World Cup to reach your 100. I mean, looking back at your career, how would you say that?
Brilliant. Apart from winning the World Cup or the Champions League, I think, I think I achieved everything I wanted, almost everything. So I'm grateful for God. To win the AFCON is something that I've always looked forward to. Being an integral, influential part of the support national team and being a captain. Before I won it, I've been there 5 times. So winning it was my 6th. So it's something that I knew that if it didn't happen, then it wasn't going to happen. Because before the tournament, I did say that was going to be my last AFCON. So, but as a player, it's always very good and special when you go through your career to have some silverwares. And for me, that was because before then it's almost 19 years. After Stephen Keshi, we haven't lifted it. So for me to be the next person after Stephen Keshi, I think is a special moment.
And when you look at the kind of caliber of players you played with, I mean, you played with Okocha, you played with Kanu Anko, all these legends. You've got to the semi-finals 4 times without winning it.
Yeah, it was a bit scary when you know that I came through the ranks when we have some very good players, quality players, JJ and Kanu and everybody, but very good squad. When I started, I thought my first 3 AFCONs, there was a chance for me to win it. But that didn't happen. Football sometimes is strange. So for me, we've had great squads, and to win it with this team, I think is very special for me. It was a special moment. I enjoyed every minute playing with both the other legends that are out the game like myself now and the younger ones that are still in. It's hard to make comparison, but like I said, football is strange. When you expect to win things, it doesn't happen, and when you think you're the underdogs, that you done, and then you put your heart into it and everything seems to fall in place for you. I think it's a good experience, and also it's something that people should take note from and always believe in yourself that you can achieve it.
The longevity in your career, it's remarkable. I mean, you started in Belgium as a young boy. You went to France, then England, Turkey. What was it like for you as a young African living and then, ending football on a high, still at the top level in Europe?
Very special. Playing on the street. I didn't play in the league, just finishing secondary school less than a year after I'm out of the country. For me, it's a very special moment because you want to do better. You want to support your family, the will to win, the desire to be a better footballer, and because you always have people that you look up to. So I want to be part of that process as well. So the drive, and then I got my first opportunity playing for Standard Liège, very special. Played in a few countries and for a few clubs, all special moments. There are lessons that made me become who I am, a better person, a man and a father as well. So for me, every club and every country I played for came with a different lesson and experience, and I'm very grateful for that.
Nigerian team going to the AFCON, the first time they'll be going back to the Nations Cup after you guys won in 2013. Looking at the present score, do you think they have what it takes to actually win, like the Nigerian Football Federation president says, or, do better, in the words of the Nigerian coach, who says this team is not ready to win the AFCON and he doesn't think they are one of the favorites?
Yeah, I think there are two different opinions there, and both of them are entitled to it. But let me start from the coach. I think he's trying to downplay what he could achieve with this team and not put so much pressure on them. But knowing that some of these players also played with me, we're talking 2013, and now they're very experienced players. They have that hunger, that passion. They want to go and do it again as footballers. So footballers always go to tournament believing they can win it. The NFF president said Nigeria is one of the favorites to win it. I think I go with that. It doesn't mean they have to win it. If you look at on papers, it doesn't mean Nigeria has the best team. But to say Nigeria is one of the favorites, I'll say yes. Because I won it in 2013 when I thought that we didn't have the best team. We had more younger players that I even complained to the coach that we needed more experienced players. But the choice was made. So sometimes these things happen to build you up for greater things that you're going to achieve. This team has qualified with a game in hand. They should build on that, believing that they can win it. And the coach, as much as he's trying to downplay it, he shouldn't say much of it so he doesn't get to the players. Because, mental strength is everything. If you go into the tournament believing that you cannot win it, then it's a problem. We got to 2013 tournament, started rough, we built on it, and the belief came that, yes, this is our time to win it. So I think apart from putting pressure on them, he should also pass the message to them that if there's any time to win it, this could be another opportunity for the Super Eagles.
Joseph Yobo speaking to Oluwashina Okeleji there. Yobo, of course, capped 101 times for Nigeria and a joint record caps. Nobody, just one other player has that number of caps. I said he played in 6 African Cup of Nations tournaments. 4 of them he got to the semi-final and didn't win. So he knows what it is like to be in Ghana's position at the moment.
And he's really speaking like, he's got that experience.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I like the part where he said in 2013 he disagreed with the coach.
Yeah, I thought they had a bad team.
Yeah, he thought that they were too young and then they went on to win and all that. 5 minutes to the top of the hour here on Joy FM on the Joy Sports Track. Exclusive interviews gone by. You can get them again on the Joy Facebook page. We are streaming live, so you can listen to Kwesi Appiah and Jonathan Mensah again on those interviews. And next up, we go to the Women's World Cup. Nanama joins us in the studio. Hi, Nanama. You've been following the tournament, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Yes, you have. Now, we're almost at the round of 16. 16 teams from the 6 groups advance to the next round of the Women's World Cup. Who is in so far? France are in from Group A. We know that Germany are in from Group B. Group C, Italy are there. England have taken a spot in Group D. And then, obviously, Korea are there as well. The Dutch have been in good form. They had 10,000 supporters in their last game. 10,000. Hey,
it was all delivered. Orange.
Yes. 10,000 people.
And they delivered.
Charlie. Canada are from Group E. Sweden, Group F. We have, obviously, Canada, the United States. Yes. And then, who has been the best? We'll talk about it so far. So, Nanama, for those of us who are initiated in the Women's World Cup so far, what have been the key talking points?
Well, of course, with the stars in the U.S. national team, we have Carly Lloyd and Alex Morgan. They have been outstanding in the U.S. national team. With France, struggled with Norway, but was able to put out a very good performance with South Korea. The African teams, on the other hand, have not really shown much performance as expected. Well, since Nigeria, Cameroon, and
South
Africa are the top-ranked FIFA, African countries. They are the first 3, and we're expecting that at least they will compete and be second in the group stages, but it's not going to work out so well for Cameroon and
South Africa. At least Nigeria have a chance.
At least Nigeria does look like they have a chance.
South Africa played tonight. Nigeria also played tonight.
They're out because South Africa and Cameroon lost their 2 games. They're totally out of it. Nigeria have a chance. Can
against
they get
France.
A point? Can they get a point against France?
But
it's difficult. It's really difficult. So they might go through as one of the
permutations
best
are simple. Nigeria
teams.
have to avoid a loss tonight.
Yes,
that is it.
And the margin is also important because they have 3 points already after winning against Korea.
Yeah.
They could slip through as one of the top.
So this is the way
teams.
It is in Group A. France are definitely through with 6 points. Norway on 3 points. Nigeria third on 3 points, but with an inferior goal difference. Norway have +4. Nigeria have +2.
Yes.
So Nigeria definitely have to win.
Yeah, they have. Even if they don't win, because there's going to be the line of third place teams, the best third place team. Once you have the 3 points there,
just like in the AFCON.
You are beginning to make a case. So if you can get 1 point or ensure that the margin today, even if France beats you, because look, it's going to be difficult to play against France. The team is good, and the nation feel like they are winning this one, so they'll come to the stadium and make enough noise to make it difficult. So they should just make sure that the margin is like 1-0, 2-0. If they can draw, it's fine.
2-0 would be deadly.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we've looked at the African teams and then the big talking points. What do you think about all this, Nanama? I mean, United States came onto their fields. They had Thailand, and then they beat them 13-0. People were angry that why were they over celebrating the goals? What do you think?
Even against Chile, they dropped 7 of their regular players.
Yes, but people were angry that they shouldn't have celebrated like they did.
I think they were proving a point. They are the best when it comes to women's football.
At the moment?
They won 2015 World Cup. And, I mean, with their issues concerning race and all that, they are trying to prove a point. Right? And they have been able to prove that point. Thailand, on the other hand, didn't seem to be too...
They're not experienced, yeah.
So it was easier for them to go through. I mean, they played Chile and they were able to score the 13, we suppose. So with the 13-0, I feel like it was just they putting the word out there that they are the best.
They are the best. Anyway, we'll be having more discussions on those as we
go. They won this 3 times, yes. It's really, really sharp.
George will be having more on this Joy Sports Center and subsequent bulletins as well on the Women's World Cup. But don't forget, the African Cup of Nations starts on Friday. We'll be having our build-up from 7 p.m. and then kickoff is at 8 p.m. JoyFM and the Multimedia Group are official rights holders of the Cup of Nations. Please join us. It's going to be a festival of football. That's it for now. I'm Gary L. Smith, and this has been the Joy Sports Track.
I would say preparation has been very good. We've been very responsive of the training programs, and everyone is looking good.
In terms of the